on the program, we have a sport administrator. He will be telling us about the planning and the administrative part of sport and every nook and cranny of sportsmanship. Thank you so much for joining us on the program today. And then his name is Oluwaseun Adebowale. Hello, Mr. Oluwaseun Adebowale.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
It's so good to have you on the program, sir.
Thank you so much.
It's good to have a sports person on the program today. You know, we always have different people from different fields, the common fields. We've had doctors, we've had lawyers.
Okay.
But to have a sports person on the program today, it's a pleasure. I am not necessarily a professional sports person, but an administrator, right?
Yes.
And you'll be telling us all about that.
Exactly.
So let's start from the beginning. Your own academic background.
Okay, fine. My name is Oluwaseun Adebowale. I'm a sport administrator. In terms of my degree, I didn't study sports initially.
Wow.
You know, I'm a science student. I studied mathematics.
What? How did you survive?
Yeah. Well, indeed. I mean, if I have to do it again, if I have another chance, I won't go to. I don't even need science class at all.
I'm not surprised.
At all. But then, it is what it is, you know. Again, I mean, it's a good thing this career talk is coming up. If even at the point of secondary school, at the elementary stage of university, if one has been properly guided, you know, it's not just writing jam and say I want to be an engineer. And after 4 years, you become a musician, you become that. So I think a career talk who can guide us properly, whereby you know that, okay, fine, if you have talent in these aspects, why not just focus on these talents? Go to get the proper education in this particular talent, so you can build your career. Not that you go to school, study a particular course, and maybe you are going here, you are going there. But then, I'm not saying that's bad, but I'm saying that if there's a career talk, that can help to harness that talent.
Mentoring.
Exactly. And say, okay, fine. Oh, this guy knows how to sing. You can help put that person on a path on how to become a singer. So I think it's a wonderful
So how
program.
did you find yourself from studying mathematics to sport administrator?
Now, my involvement in sport has to do with passion initially.
Okay.
At the primary school level, at the secondary school level, I went to boarding house all through my life. I went to Mayflower School in Kenya.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was a footballer. I played at my primary school level. I played at my secondary school level. I played at university level. At the secondary school level, I got injured. You know, I think I was in SS1. We were planning for a major tournament. You know, I got my boots, I got my everything, you know, and during practice, a friend of mine, you know, because of, you know, contacts, you know, stepped on my ankle and I got injured. And that was an end to my playing career. But I made a point, I told myself at that time, I said, look, because I had passion for football, you know, I love sport a lot, even at that age. And I said, well, whatever it takes, if I cannot play football, then I'm going to be within the sport industry. I mean, and that led me to the sports part. There was no career talk, there was nothing. All I have with me was, okay, fine, we go on TV, we watch Champions League, we watch football, we watch everything. We're just putting the passion around it. And at a point, when I got to the university, in the university, most times, I don't know, for University of Lagos, most people in sports are in the educational aspect. Okay. That's physical and health education departments. That's where you get all the athletes, all the people that play for sport. So when I joined them, when they saw me, I was like, it's rare to see a science student coming to play football, to do this, to do that. You know, it's a passion. And at that point, one of my professors told me that, look, I mean, you have this zeal, you have this drive. Why don't you go to NIS? NIS is National Institute of Sports. That is the body that certifies you as a sports administrator in Nigeria. And it's still the only body to today. Just like you have ICANN, it's a professional institution at the National Stadium. Well, a big clue. I got there, I was like, wow, this is what I've been looking for, this is what I've been waiting for. And in 2024, I was in part 2. Yeah, I was in part 2. I was running it side by side with that professional exam because I couldn't wait to when I'm going to graduate from university.
What year was that?
200 level, 2004.
2004.
2004. I graduated in 2006. I couldn't wait till 2026. So I was running University of Lagos Akoka and National Stadium, Sude. But then it's a flexible academic structure. It's not the vigorous, it's more practical.
Okay.
You do classes a bit, you go on the field, and you have the lecturers, and they teach you, they give you your notes, they give you your workbook and everything. You also go online, you search for research and what have you. And, you know, gradually, it's a 1-year course. Then, because, you know, if I've graduated, I think I would have been given a higher level. But it's not because I was in 200 level, and because I was studying, has something to do with sports.
True.
Unlike somebody that will come with a physical and health education certificate, which is in sports industry, you know. So they said, okay, fine, I have to do a diploma. Then I said, okay, fine, that's all. The essence is, you know, let me get certification on these things. So I came down to NIS. I paid, it was a huge amount of money, you know.
So who is a sports administrator?
Sorry?
Who is a sports administrator?
A sport administrator is someone who has gone through the academic curriculum, just like every other field, and satisfy the requirements of that particular course, either both practical and in the classroom. And at the end of the day, they certify you that yes, you are a sport administrator, you can go into, you are fit to go for any job that has to do with sports management. Because when you submit your CV, they look at it. If they want to interview you, they force you to see whether you have experience or you have certification in that particular field, which in this case is sports management. So for sport management, it is not just, the word management is huge. You know, when we were talking the other time, I couldn't open it up because of the time frame. Inside sport management, you have sport marketing.
Okay.
You have sport law.
Okay.
You have sport psychology.
Yeah.
You have sports journalists in it.
And you must focus on one.
So that means if you feel, oh well, I love marketing and I want to be in sports, you can major. Just like every other course, that when you get a particular year, you major into specifics after doing the elementary or the fundamentals of management. So the moment you get to a level, you go to where your passion, your interest. Okay, I love marketing, I want to do sport marketing. Oh, I like talking, I want to do sport journalism. Oh, law, I want to go for sport law. Sport laws are people that deals with players management.
Okay.
Athletes management. If I use the word player, people think only football. So I want to use athletes. Athletes is general. They are the managers. Most sport lawyers are the managers because they deal with contracts, sport contracts. Every season you see players signing from one club to another with huge amount of money. There is always a sport lawyer who look at the agreement for you. That's their major. That's sport law. Just like you have a property lawyer, you have commercial lawyers, you have them. There is also a sport lawyer who look at your terms. And because that particular lawyer has done the elementary of sport management, knowing fully well the terms and conditions that needs to be in that agreement. Oh, I'm signing a 5-year contract with Real Madrid. What are the things under that contract? I'm not going to wear any other jersey apart from Real Madrid. Terms and conditions. Oh, all the media right or whatever. Anywhere I go to, all my social media campaign is going to be promoting Real Madrid. So it is that lawyer that will now advise the player. Look, these are the contracts we have signed with Real Madrid. So anywhere you go to, you are bound to carry the image of that particular club. So I don't breach a contract. The moment you breach a contract, of course, Real Madrid will come in and say, oh, we saw you were doing this, you were doing that, you were doing that. So that's sport law. And they also advise the athletes on how to have a proper conduct on the agreements they sign. We've seen cases where you sign an agreement and players go away, not along the agreement. Such cases has ended up at a court of arbitration of sports.
Wow, there's a
Where
big
people,
court.
exactly. So where people sit down and decide, oh, you brought a case here, you brought a case here. And that's why they encourage people, you don't take a sport case to ordinary court of law. You take it to a sports court law, where the same people, lawyers and administrators, who understand the intricacies of the contract and everything, decide on it. That is sport law. So you can see that it's huge. If you come to sport journalism, I mean, which this is your area.
Thoughts I will come to sports journalism, but right here, let's take a quick break, and we'll be hearing how the young dreamers tell us what they would like to be in the future. Please stay with us.
I want to become a computer scientist. This is why I want to become a computer scientist, because I love technology and web designing and programming.
And I would like to become a police in future so that I would maintain law and order in society.
Thank you for staying with us on Career Talk. It is still Ogun State Television, and I am discussing with a sport administrator. I have been learning a lot about sports administration, and his name is Oluwaseun Adebowale. He's been in the game for over a decade now. So just before the break, we were talking about sports journalism. Please continue.
Yeah, that's another aspect under management. Now, I mean, what you are doing now is journalism.
Yes, please.
Now, and I'm sure you have people who talk about sports, who major about sports.
Sure.
That's sport journalism. I mean, under the umbrella of, they call them SWAN, Sport Writers Association of Nigeria. They are under NUJ, which is the Sports Union of Sports
Nigerian Union of Journalists.
So they also talk about sports. They report everything about sports. Whatever happens in the world of sport, both within and outside the country, that is what they do, they report it. So whoever has a flair for journalism, and it's okay, fine. Oh, I love Madrid, I love the way, I love football, I love athletics, I love everything. I know how to talk. You see them on air, they talk about sports and the major. Along the line, some of them feel, okay, let me get a certification on it. That's when they go back to school. They might not be a journalist from the onset. They go back to school. And the essence of certification is, so when you go out there to get a higher job, or you want to go for something higher in your career, it is essential, it is necessary for them to see it in your CV that you have gone through the academics and you've gotten the basics of sports journalism. You might be a journalist, but then you want to major. Just like you have people who report finance and what have you. So that's another aspect of it.
Interesting. So
if you want to talk about the marketing
please continue.
aspect of it too, the sport marketing, like I explained the other time, has to do with if you have a flair for marketing. It's even huge. It's even a very sweet aspect in sport marketing. Now, there is Abeokuta road race today in Ogun State, as I speak to you now. Now, quite a number of sponsors are on board that sponsored that particular event. Now, that is marketing. Somebody facilitated those companies to be part of that event. So as a sports marketer, you go out there, you source for sponsors to be able to manage your events in terms of revenue to it. And as a sport marketer, you don't bring a competing brand to it. You don't bring a Milo and a Bonfita together because they are competing brand. You don't bring a Coca-Cola and a 7-Up together because they are competing brand. These are the things you learn in sport marketing. Ordinary marketing, you might not be able to understand it. But then in sport marketing, these competing brands, they don't come together. So the moment I get a brand in the beverage industry, I don't bring any other brand in it. The moment I get a brand in the banking industry, I don't bring any other brand into it. So these are some of the things the basics, and that is why going to school to learn about it is important. As a marketer, you can be free for all. Okay, I want to get sponsor for this, I want to get sponsor for this. But when you go through the intrices, you know what you are supposed to do when you are marketing. That's where the professionalism comes in. So when I approach a company that, oh, come and sponsor my event, I have an event, I'm approaching that company based on the fact that I've already studied the mission, vision, objective of that company. And I try to look at my events and say, okay, fine, how can I put my events and this company, how can I put them together? Meaning that there is a 50-50 thing. Value, the company is going to give me money to run my events. Now, what are the value the company is going to derive from that event? Whether direct in terms of sales or whether brand visibilities, PR. So this is the aspect of sport marketing. So the career is huge, and people think sport is just.
So let's take it a little bit personal.
Sorry?
Let's take it personal.
Okay.
So which one are you involved in? What area are you major in?
For me, I'm doing sports administration.
Okay.
Now, sport management, like I said, under sport management, I've mentioned various aspects.
Yes.
Now I'm doing sport administration. Now, what am I doing in sport administration? I've worked with Rivers. When I finish my NIS program, I'm mandatory to do a 1-year IT with any sports organization anywhere in the country. I went to Port Harcourt. There's a football club in Port Harcourt. Then, now it's Rivers States. Now it's Rivers United. Then it was Dolphin Football Club of Port Harcourt. I was the assistant secretary. I was at administrative level. Now, what do we do, or what do I do as an assistant secretary? I work directly with the secretary of the club. Now, all the names of the players, their files, their biodata, and everything, we have it on the system. Every player, what they do, their age, their date of birth, and what have you, we have it on the system. Now, if there's a match, for instance, they play football league, week in, week out. Now, if there's a match next Saturday, the secretary will just tell me, that's my boss, we tell me, okay, fine, we are playing in Lagos, and we are in Rivers State, and we are playing in Lagos. Meaning that by Wednesday, we are booking hotel accommodation. We're making sure that the vehicle they are traveling with is in good condition. So, as an assistant secretary, I'll call the driver to make sure that the car is in good shape, because they'll be traveling maybe Thursday, so they can get to Lagos on time, rest before their match. We book hotel accommodation for them. They are feeding. Every logistics that will make the team get to Lagos safely and on time, and make sure that they play their match and win. These are the roles that I play and as assistant secretary. Then, so that's a practical example of a sport administration.
Okay.
There was a time after that, I was with a foundation. I'm sure you know Falila Togwara. Falila Togwara is a quarter miler. He had a foundation. I was also the secretary of our foundation. I developed the mission, the vision, and the objective of the foundation. And the brain, what she wanted was to be having 400 meters championship alone, because that is what she was doing as an athlete. So I developed the vision, the mission, and everything, and started organizing competition in only 400 meters across the country, primary and secondary schools. That's what I do as a sports administrator.
Let's talk about the challenges that face your profession as a sports person, because so far you've painted your profession, your career, as the very, all that glitter is gold. Like, it's so interesting, there are no hiccups along the way, but we want to know, just for the sake of the young minds, the stumbling blocks they will meet on the way, the challenges, the stumbling blocks, the challenges they will face along the way, maybe during the academic process or when they become a professional. What are the challenges involved in your career?
I want to get what are the kind of
challenges
that I
involved,
face?
yes, that you face.
Okay. Now, the major challenge I faced was because I was running it with my university. That was the major.
And since you started practicing,
something was clear.
Okay.
You see, it's passion first. And every other thing became secondary to me. When I was in school, I wasn't driving, so it's not easy for me to be moving from University of Lagos to international zone almost on probably 2-3 times in a week. So for me, it was passion. The money I spent in sport, I've not really gotten like half of it, but it's fine. But then I'm fulfilled. Now I've turned my passion into money making.
Into a career.
Into a career, so I can make money out of it. If you don't have passion, just like in music, you don't wake up and say you want to start singing. Something drives you. Inspiration comes in it.
True.
So there must be a passion. If you have passion behind it, the challenges are going to be minimal. For me, the major challenge was, okay, fine. Okay, my parents were not in support of it. How do I get funds for it?
Okay.
How do I move from one place to another?
Let's talk to the parent here. So what's your advice for parents? Because most parents want their words to be professionals that they are comfortable with. They want them to be lawyers, they want them to be doctors. And when it comes to sports, they feel like it's those that are not academically sound that go into sport.
I think that was before.
That was before, right?
That was before.
Oh,
now, the management of a player are the aspects that I mentioned: administration, marketing, media, psychology, and what have you. Because the moment you bring that child of age 5, 6, it's okay. This guy is talented. Like you put him under a program. When I mean a program, I mean like what he eats, where he goes to, at that early age. You start imbibing that culture in that boy as he grows up. He's training. You know that he has a training for 4 o'clock. He doesn't sleep till 4 o'clock before he gets to that training. Those are at 3:30, he's up. Pack his bag and everything. Oh, who is driving into the office or to the training pitch or whatever? He moves there. So, for parents, maybe 15, 10 years ago, I would say yes to what you just said now. But I think the parents of nowadays, just like in music, just like in music that, you know, it's a hit. It's a hit. The moment your song becomes a hit, I mean, the way we call it, you don't blow. So in sports is entertainment. I mean, for all you care, it's entertainment. So parents are, to the best of my knowledge, if I see a 5-year-old, 6-year-old boy that can play, I'm going to meet the parent. I'm going to tell the parent, oh, you've got a talent in your house. Are you willing? We go into agreement with that parent, we put that particular child under a sport management care in every aspect of sport. I put a sport psychology. They will work on him, on his psyche every day.
wow, what an interesting section which is
The same thing you will see of a Ronaldo.
Wow.
And all these
Other one.
big.
Okay, so before we go, time is definitely not on our side. We have to go right now. Just your last shot for the young minds. What's your advice for them who are interested in sports?
Well, for me, what is worth doing at all is worth doing well. Identify your talents and let nothing stop you. Go for it.
Great. I love that. Identify your talents and let nothing stop you. I'm taking that home with me. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the program.
It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure having you here too. And that was Mr. Oluwaseun Adebowale, a sports administrator. Thank you so much for joining us on Career Talk today. I have a splendid time learning another career. And next week, we'll be bringing you another interesting one on Career Talk. My name is Lara, Emmanuel. Please stay tuned and keep it glued on Ogun State Television. See you next week.